Hi everyone. So this is Ananya Roy, and today I'm going to walk you through the detailed workflow that we usually have at AdPuffs to maintain any brand at a scale who are having multiple products or having a nine-figure revenue. So how to look into the ad account daily and how to understand the entire day-to-day's work. We start our starting point of the day is to review the daily report. So the daily report actually looks something like this, where we have the all the details. So for example, for this particular brand, I was only handling the meta ad account, so I was looking into that. So the date, the meta spends, this needs to be product wise. So for, if you have 5 to 10 focus SQs, then this is what you should have for similarly for every 5 to 10 products. Why? Because the objective of this particular report is to understand that, okay, is there any discrepancy in the trend. So suppose suddenly, as you can see here, the suddenly this particular product, it was one of the winning product, and the next 2 days there has been no revenue. So to understand that at a complete glance, I need this kind of report where it will be mostly into the every products, and it does not need to be anything more detailed. You can automate it with AppScript or any other apps like Adveronics, where you can create a trend that, okay, how the product is moving. So the meta spends of every product, the revenue of every product, this revenue needs to be from Shopify and does not is not just from your meta dashboard. After that, you can also, here you can also add Google ads spend if and when required. So first look into this report. Now as soon as you look into this report, the next thing is to understand, analyze the revenue, the spends, the ROI of every product separately, and identify discrepancies or significant changes in the performance. Now, whichever the products that are outperforming, underperforming, or have is not showing any significant change performance. So the moment you see an underperformance in the revenue, so go ahead and understand why is the underperformance. So once you go ahead and see that, okay, so what is the current performance, okay, what is the discrepancies that you have in the performance. If the product performance is underperforming, then the things that you need to do is you need to go to the campaigns and identify the products, identify the campaigns with the highest purchase in the last 30 days. Then go ahead and analyze their ads within that campaigns. Notice that is suddenly yesterday, is there any particular ad that has overspent, where the CACs are very high compared to your kill CACs, or the scale, identify the ads which are having CAC lower than your kill CAC. So the moment you go to your underperforming products, and first you need to stop the loss. So this needs to be the first step. And any ad that is actually having higher CACs needs to be paused immediately. So why we have started with the winning campaigns first, which is having the highest purchase, because that is also having the highest number of spends. So first go and fix the most critical campaigns for your underperforming account, for your underperforming products. So once you go to this for the non-performing ads, before turning it completely off, you also need to check the volume of the purchase every particular ad has come. So if your ad is having around more than 100 purchases, then you should ideally keep it running. Now if that particular ad is in an ABO campaign or a CBO campaign, so what to do then? So if it's in an ABO campaign, so it's very easy. So you can just go ahead and reduce the budget for the non-performing ads. But for any CBO campaign, which in where the particular ad which presently has are not performed yesterday well, or in the last few days, well, you cannot turn it off completely, because you should never turn off a winning ad. So what to do then? So the two things that you can do is check if any new creators were added in that campaign, because of which the spends is getting diverted. If there's no creators that has been added in that campaign, but still the spends is getting diverted, because maybe the dependency of the entire campaign is into for one, but that one particular creative. So reduce this budget for the entire campaign. It does not need to be only 30% or 20%. It completely depends on how much is the dip. So if your ROS target or the kill CAC targets are 1300 and 1.4 ROAS respectively, then and if you see that okay, the campaign is a spare ROAS of 0.95 with a CAC much higher than 1300, then it's not just 20% of budget that you should reduce. You can actually reduce much more. So in the CBO campaigns, you reduce the budget and you put in any new creators which you have already found winners from the creative testing. So this will help Facebook to understand that okay, you are giving an indicator that this is not the performance that you want. You're reducing the budget, which is where you are reducing the bid, and you're putting in better ad quality creators which has already proven been winner, to make sure that this campaign, which is having a high dependency, does not stop performing. Now, once you have gone through your underperforming products, the next step comes is to understand your outperforming products. So then you go to the report, you understand which are the products that has been outperforming. So usually we have different ad accounts for different products. For example, if there are 3 to 4 winning products, we can have at least 3 ad accounts where every product is into every ad account with a different page. So that also keeps it easier to look into which particular ad account to look for which product. So it's easier there. But if you have many more products, so you can have at least 2 ad accounts for the 2 main revenue contributors, and the third one where you can keep on checking the other revenue contributors and see okay, whichever is performing well. If you see that okay, this is something really outperforming the other products, you can move it to another ad account and page if required. So if the product is outperforming, first check the landing page of the product. Is there any changes that has actually made your product outperforming? Is there any change in the offer? Is there any change in the add to carts? And then you analyze the ad account in details, review the CAC, your ROAS, your spends, the conversion rate of and purchases of every campaign. Focus on the campaigns with CAC lesser than your kill CAC. Why? Because this is where you need to scale. Again, this campaigns in they identify the winning ads in these campaigns, and for the outperforming ads, if it's an old winning ad, outperforming ad, you will have iterations with you, right? So if not, then what to do? If you don't have an iteration and it is a new winning ad, so analyze the creative theme of that particular creative. What is the kind of creative theme that you're running? So once you have the creative theme ready, then you can go ahead and create new iterations based on the successful elements. For example, if that particular ad is of a creative theme of benefit based, then the iterations that you also need to have should be on benefit based, because that is what the product is working well for their target audience. So identify the creative and start making creative iterations for this. Once you have those creative iterations done, go ahead and once you have it ready, then the next day you will be coming, that yes, you have an old winning creative, so you have creative iterations, and you just go ahead and launch these creatives. So next, for the campaigns which are underperforming for your outperforming product, again repeat the same thing, that if the performance for that campaign is in CBO or ABO, just repeat this step, and to make sure that you are stopping loss for any winning product or underperforming product across the account. Now, once you are looking into your ad account, you will go ahead and you are making, after you have made these changes based on whatever data you have seen yesterday, you also need to go ahead and check today's performance. So usually there's a time when we do this is at around 12 p.m. When I look into the ad account for the second time. So at that point of time, the first thing that I'll go ahead and check is today's performance. Is this day's performance okay? Is the review of performance metrics, or check the review and performance metrics of each ad based on what I have done and optimized at midnight. So usually this is the process that we do at midnight, so that I'm already ready for the day, what things have happened last day, and I can take the necessary changes. And by 12, Usually, because again, if it's a 9-figure revenue brand or it's a 7-figure revenue brand, you already have a huge amount of spend. So spend is what will dictate the performance. It's not that is it 12 hours or is it just 10 hours that you need to look into that. But whenever we are launching ads, we usually launch here on 3000 rupees per day or on a higher budget. Based on that, it is easier to understand, okay, if I've launched a creative also at the midnight, I'm aware that okay, my CAC target is 1300 and it can spend at least by by midnight it will spend at least more than 1000. I will at least get an idea of, is my CPCs and CTRs all right, is it completely out of the box, or how things are going. So by 12 at noon, I'll look into the ad account once and check the current day's performance. I'll review the performance metric of each ad which has been new launched, or the ads that has is having very high spends. So if the performance of them are not aligned, then again I'll go ahead and repeat the spends. But if the campaign, if the particular ad has not spent at least 2x of your CPA, then I'll not look into it directly. What I'll do is I'll check into the pre-click metrics. Is the CPCs and CTRs completely out of the range? Like if my CPC is 3 rupees and the ad account of that particular ad is having a CPC of 10 rupees, then I know that this particular ad has something wrong. It's not, if I scale it, then my CPCs of the ad account is going to increase a lot. Now, if the metrics and the kill is higher than the kill targets and the pre-click is at per the account average, then I will go ahead and scale that particular creative. And if the spends are greater than 2x of CPA but the metrics are less than my kill targets, then I'll just kill the ad. So it's not any particular emotional attachment or anything. Just if this is not working, so just turn off the ad. And for any ad, wherever the scale the creators across various campaigns. So if once you're reviewing the campaign before looking as you see into this, any particular creators that is performing well, we will be scaling that particular creative in that campaign itself. Now, once I'm scaling this creatives, okay, suppose I've launched a new creative yesterday and that particular creative is performing well. I have already scaled it aggressively and I see that, okay, this particular creative is good, then I will move it to my scaling campaign. So one thing that we believe here is it's the creators just need not to be scaled in creative testing campaigns, but also can be moved to other campaigns. So if we have scaling campaigns separately, but it does not mean that only in scaling campaign is where we'll scale. So from those metrics we'll be shifting it to audience testing campaigns and AC campaigns, and based on that we will again review the daily report to understand that okay, how things have been going in the product. So once we are done with the creators understanding of the product, and always in order to understand that, suppose a particular product has noticed a sudden drop, it's not just what was happening in the ad account that matters. So in order to understand the address drops, you need to go ahead and check your landing page as well. So how the workflow till now is going is, you are going into your ad account, you are going to your daily report, you are seeing that okay, this is my outperforming products, this is my underperforming products. For outperforming products, you have checked the landing pages, you have noticed okay, how things are going in the landing pages, the sudden change that is there, because of which there has been a sudden spike, or is it something in the ad account. Next, you see the underperforming products. So even in the underperforming products, where other than just looking into your ad account, you also need to start see that okay, are the products performing dropping because of something in the add to cart. Now when will you understand that? The moment that you are going ahead and checking this day's performance or yesterday's performance, you are seeing all your important metrics in the ad account. So you are seeing the CACs, you are seeing the other metrics, you are seeing the conversion rates. So when I'm seeing that, we'll be also having a look if there's a drop in the conversion rate. So check the landing page before. Is there any offer change? Is there a change in the free gift that the product was giving? So if yes, if no issues have been found on the landing page, then go ahead, repeat the same process, analyze your ad account, analyze and check that okay, Is there any certain overspend in that account? Is there any rejection of that particular product which has led to the drop in that particular day? Is there, like, then you go ahead and descale your non-performing ads, launch new creators in your creative testing campaign, analyze both losing and winning ads. And again, once it's done, you repeat the same process of analyzing your revenues every day, analyze the ROIs, and go ahead and look it for discrepancies. Next, but if you find there is any issue in the landing page or checkout, so again, analyze the post click metrics of your ad account for that. Identify where the drop occurred, check if the product pricing has changed suddenly, and also remember, communication is the main thing. Inform the stakeholders about these issues, because wherever is coming to a 7 figure or 9 figure brand, the particular owner or the particular POC for you, they are also depending on you. Like, they need to have that communication that, okay, why did there's a certain drop in my winning product? So what happened there? So understanding those metrics and informing them to your stakeholders is very important. So while you're analyzing that you have found, okay, there's an issue with the landing page, you're going to your post clicks metrics, you see that, okay, where is my drop off? Is it between LPB to ATC, or is it between ATC to IC? Is the drop off between IC to purchase? So the moment you understand where is the issue, you know that, okay, this is where I need to look into. Once you have a look into that, you can go ahead and inform the stakeholders that, hey, this is where the drop is happening, and we checked that there's no issues in the product creators, the same traffic, the same kind of CPMs are there, the same CPCs are there, no particular winning ad has got rejected. I think there's something change in the ad account. So the moment you are looking into that, you can look into for pricing changes and offer applications, but also look into, is there sudden emerging of any particular new competitor? Is there suddenly any kind of negative comment that has come to the particular winning ad of your winning product? Or is there been any particular content creator or influencer who has mentioned something about your product? So go ahead and review these metrics and inform your stakeholders. Next, you see that this drop of a particular product is for month on month, like month on month the revenue contribution of your product is reducing, then look into Amazon. See, is there any particular competitor that has come in? Analyze the price range. You can use tools like Helium and see that, okay, is that certain new competitor who is coming the product into a very low price point. This particularly happened to me. So my product was into a hair product, and it was a kind of a market leader. But then another product, we suddenly noticed that since the month of February there has been continuous dip, like it's our revenue, the CACs are increasing, my contribution for that product is decreasing, and overall revenue is decreasing as well. So that's when we look into the Amazon, we understood that, okay, there has been another brand that has been coming up with the product, same kind of product with same benefits, but at a much cheaper price, and they were doing heavy influencer marketing, which was actually affecting our, you know, market share overall. So understanding those outperforming metrics other than your ad account is very necessary. So as soon as you see a dip in the ad account for a consistent long period of time, go ahead and check these things. And then if the drop is between LPV to ATC, and you see that, okay, there has been no other changes in the price, there are no other marketers that has coming, so I think there's an issue on your landing page. So start testing new landing pages, do A/B testing of landing pages, test different kind of PDPs, and you keep on doing this change every day. So check this, review and address if there are negative reviews on your landing page, and you repeat your process every day. So we have completed this analysis part. Now let's see that how the documentation and communication needs to be. So in order to track the performance of every product, you should have a product tracking for every on your dashboards or on your meta sheet. So, and it is kind of a having a weekly, monthly and a daily reporting. So this is a kind of a weekly reporting that we have. For example, if there's a different products, every product, this is the total spends, this is the total revenues, your purchase, your AOV, your or Shopify level ROI. How many new customers have you acquired for that particular in that week? What is your new customer AOV, your NCACs and new customer sales? So along with this, I also have similar metric other than your NCACs and sales if you don't have advanced tracking. So we can have the similar thing over for Meta and Google. So once you have these, it will give you more clarity to look into that metrics that okay, when I'm looking into ad account, I'm just not looking for ROI, I'm looking for something else. So in every metric, so for documentation and communication, we'll be having to track the performance of each product as well as at brand level. Now I'll be focusing on the products based on the new customer acquisitions for each product. I'll check that okay, is my revenue contribution for my winning product in proportion to the new customers. So if I'm suddenly, if there's suddenly a drop in the new customers for my winning product, I need to look into the ad account and understand why has there been a drop. And with this kind of report, it's very easy to track the spends. Is there some other product that is actually spending more than my winning product? So how those issues are, so you can actually track that thing very easily. Now see that okay, is the growth of a new customer contribution is proportionate to the revenue contribution. So if you're having a winning product and the new customer acquisition for that particular product is low, that is it's very much dependent on your repeats, then that actually is a bit difficult. So you have to understand that no, I cannot just rely on my repeats, I have to acquire more new customers. Now you can hold weekly calls with your stakeholders. With this kind of weekly calls, again, it's easier to communicate, you can update them and they will have access to all your reports. So then this is a kind of detailed logo. Now let's come to the strategy of new creatives. So I've already mentioned here, so once you are analyzing the products, you know that okay, when I find a new winner, I'll be launching iterations and I will be seeing that okay, is my creators getting targeted to the right audience, my pre-click metrics are in track or not, and I'll keep on monitoring the performance closely. And if whenever I'm going ahead and seeing okay, what is my launch, I have to launch new creators maybe for a new concept. So what is the initial budget allocation that needs to be there? So set the initial budget based on historical data and expected performance. So if that is a particular creative theme that you have tried out, you know that okay, this is something that can be tried, so it's okay, go ahead, test it, scale it from the first day itself. But if you see that okay, my top performing ads are at a budget of 3000 rupees and I have to go ahead and launch this new concept, I'm not quite sure of, start launching it with a budget of at least 1200, then again by the end of the day you are aware that yes, how my ad is performing. So if my CAC of the ad account is around 1300, usually I launch ads at 2x of the CPA or 2x of the account AOV for different kind of brands. Now I wait for the ad to spend at least 2x. If it's working, great. If it's not, I'll just kill that ad. But if I'm not quite sure of it is sort of the entire big swing and cannot spend that much of budget, that is not the lever that I have, then I'll go ahead and launch it of at least 1x of CPA. I'll see it to spend 2x of CPA budget, and based on that I'll take the necessary steps as I discussed before. So yeah, that has been tested here. But now what is the kind of testing? How will I structure my creative testing campaigns? So this kind of creatives are getting tested in the for new iterations of winning ads. I usually prefer a very simple structure of creative testing, though for many brands we have seen that yes, creative testing in CBO works, but for brands at this scale it does not matter a lot about CBO, or is it just a CBO campaign or ABO campaign. It's very much into creatives and the communication that you have. So I prefer the creative testing campaign to be in ABO, each is having the same interest. And so I launch the creators, and in the creative testing campaign in the ABO creative testing campaign, what I'll do, it will have one ad set, one ad, and I'll set the budget as I mentioned. If I have budget, that leverage, that I'll update it to 2x of AOV or 2x of CPA based on that Again, the same process is repeated after 24 hours. As I have already spent 2x of my AOV or 2x of CPA, I know is that do I need to stop or do I need to start it? Next, same thing. Once you find winning ads, you go ahead and repeat this process. So this is the kind of creative themes reporting that we usually have, where if we go ahead and actually see that okay, this is the creative themes that are performing. These are where most of the spends are going. My ROAS, my AOV, my conversion rate. So I know that okay, this is the next creative theme that I need to focus on. So it actually makes it easier. So yeah, identify once you have these, it will be very easier to identify your winning evergreen themes. You can check their creative availability. If you have them, you can launch it directly, and if you don't have, you can design and produce it for your new products and as well as the new ads for the existing products. And make sure that you're having a mix of formats. So it does not need to be just image, just video, or just carousel, but it has to be a mix. So even the same communication or same creative theme into different kind of different formats actually differs a lot. So keep on testing this to understand which kind of creatives is at working well for which account. And once you're doing this, you go ahead and again review the process, and that's what keeps you makes your workflow at a same cycle. This needs to be reviewed every day, and yes, it needs to be communicated as well. I hope this video helped you all, and if you have any questions, do let me know. Thank you so much.